All right, welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us today. This session is an introduction to Copilot AI and integrating it into your curriculum. Just a little bit of housekeeping real quick. Keep your mic muted. If you have questions, put them in the chat. We'll try to answer those as we get them. The session number today is 314673. The link is also in the chat if you want to just register if you haven't already done so. And then don't forget to check in with the remote check-in code PSJA Tech. That way you get credit for being here today. So what is Microsoft Copilot? Well, I'm sure you've heard of AI, artificial intelligence, and I'm sure you've heard the terms Chat GPT. Microsoft Copilot is another tool. It's a generative AI tool that also can help, just like Chat GPT. This can become your personal assistant. It can help you save time. It can help you differentiate instruction, enhance student learning. You can create lesson plans and quizzes and rubrics and all sorts of different things. There's some links here. We will share the slides with you. If you want to read more on Microsoft Copilot, these are some articles that will help you. And this one's real good about saving time using AI. And who doesn't want to save time? So I remember when I was teaching, and I taught for 22 years, I always said I need like a secretary or an assistant. Well, here it is right now. Here we are in 2024, and we have Microsoft Copilot. So I'm going to show you this quick little video on how it can be your assistant in education. Okay, isn't that cool? It can help you do lesson planning. It can help you find images. Marco is going to show you that at the end of today's session, and so much more. You saw all those like little fly-ins of all the different ways AI can help you. Here's just a few examples of ways you can use AI to help you in the classroom and with your planning. It does really help with personalized learning. I know Val will probably go over this. He's going to go over like creating different levels of reading for your students. And he's also going to show you how to do prompting for that. We can do a lot of brainstorming. Maybe you just need an idea of some activities to do for Earth Day. You can just, search it, get lesson plans and get materials and ideas for that. It will help you with lesson planning. It can put in your TEKs. It can maybe help you create a rubric if you need that for your students' work. It can also help give you feedback. You can actually put like your student work into AI and get some feedback. And right now, the students aren't able to use that part of Copilot or Copilot at all, but you as the teacher can put it in and, help them get feedback. You can also get just quick answers on anything that you want to ask, kind of like asking Alexa. You can ask Copilot and it can give you so many different answers for so much different information on different content areas and different anything you need. The sky is the limit. It will help you take a deeper dive. I like what Copilot does. I'm going to show you how to get in to access Copilot. You basically are just going to go to copilot.microsoft.com. I have the link right here for you in the slides. But another easier way, if you're already in the Edge browser, right here in your search bar, you see this little fancy, little colorful little design. This is your Copilot. So you can actually just click there and it will also take you to Copilot. So I did a quick prompt. This is one thing, and Val's going to go more into depth on how to create the prompt and what information you need. And the more you start using this, the better you'll get at getting information and the prompt, because the more information you have in your prompt, the better response you're going to get. So this was just an activity. I thought, let's see what it would come up with to create a Jeopardy game. Who doesn't like Jeopardy? Like the students, this would be a fun game to play. So I put in the prompt, create a Jeopardy review game for a fun way to review content with 5th grade students about the stages of mitosis review. Use the category stages of mitosis, cell cycle, cell division terms, and create 4 questions per category with answers. And this is the response I got. So it gives you like, certainly, you know, let's take a review, and that just gives you like a little synopsis of what you asked for. And then here's my categories. Look, I have 4 categories, or the 3 categories, excuse me, that I asked for. And I got my 4 questions per category. Now, of course, as a teacher, you're going to want to review those questions, make sure that's what you want to ask. And here's where you can, like, if I don't like this question, I can change it to something else. You don't have to use exactly, of course, what it gave you. You can change that up, but at least it gives you like a board, some information to start with. These, I left this in blue. I like how Copilot links to the source. So I can click on the source of where they found this information and read more about it if I need to. So it's kind of like documenting where it got this information. So I can take these answers, and now there's a really cool Jeopardy puzzle on this flippity.net, has all these different activities you can use with your students. And they have one right here, the Flippity Quiz Show. And so here I can get a demo, and I can get instructions on how to create this. And so in the demo, it just shows me this is what you're going to have for your students. When I click on this, the question comes up. And so if I click on the instructions, it's going to give me a template I can use. It's already formatted for you. All you have to do is go in and add your question and your answer, which you now have from your Copilot, and you can just copy and paste those into your game show activity, and you're ready to use this with your student. So there's a lot of activities like that Copilot can help you get the information for that and go have fun with your students. So now I'm going to turn it over to Val. And if there's any questions, let me know along the way. Let us know, and we'll be happy to answer those. He's going to show you how to get more out of writing your AI prompts.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. As you know, my name is Valentin Guerra, and we're going to be talking about how to write AI prompting. So you have to be very specific. You have to define clear objectives, exactly tell them what you want, structure the prompt, specify what voice you're using. So if you want to tell your AI chatbot, I'm like, you're a 3rd grade teacher, you're a pre-K teacher, you're a principal at elementary. You need to be specific about it. Also, you need to tell them who your audience is. So who is this going to? Is it going for your students? You might be writing notes for your parents. So be specific as you can. Be irate and redefine everything that you want. And then once you get the answers that you're getting from your chatbot, you can re-ask questions. You can re-edit what you're doing so you can more or less get what you're asking for. Now, after playing with AI for a while, us here at Instructional Technology, we kind of came up with a little way to help us PSJA team, how to write a prompt using AI. So we came out with this acronym called AI PSJA TEAK. Well, we want to be TEAK oriented, or for my pre-K teachers and principals that I see some in here, we can do pre-K guidelines instead of TEAK, but we'll do that. So AI, just I want you to think what tool or what artificial intelligence you're going to be using. What is the best one for you? So right now we're talking about Copilot. So we're going to be using Copilot in here. Like Debbie mentioned, we also have Chat GPT. We've talked about Magic School AI in the past, but there's a bunch of tools that we're using. Make sure that you use the tool that is better or the best for what you're trying to achieve. Now, the bulk of the matter is know what your PSJA is, your purpose. Clarify the goal or objective of the task or output that you're going to want. Speaker. So identify the speaker. Who is the person that is doing this? So is it a teacher for a grade? Is it an admin? I put just length just so we can put that in there in PSJA, or jot down length just so it will fit with the J. Basically, we want to specify how long is our output. How long do we want our output to be? If it's going to be a message for parents, you just want 3 sentences, specify that. Or maybe is it for 200 or 150 word presentation that you're going to be submitting, a submission for, well, Debbie and the little secret, Debbie and I actually use it a lot for our submissions when we're presenting. So it works great. So you can be specific on the length. Let's say you're doing a quiz. How many questions do you want it to be? 5, 10? This is what we're talking about length. And lastly, audience. The AI needs to know who the target audience is so they can tailor it accordingly. And if we're doing something that is educational, like emphasize it with a TEK or a pre-K guideline, make sure that you put the TEK in there. So let's say 3rd grade, TEK 10C, so you put 3.10C. You can copy and paste also the verbiage of it and make it verbatim. It will align it to that to that guideline for pre-K or to that TEK from kinder all the way through 12th grade. Now, let me show you a little bit some of the prompts that we came up with. So this is a prompt for quiz prompt, and we're using a chatbot. When we're talking about chatbot, that will be here, will be either Chat GPT or Copilot. Or also when we're talking about Magic School, if you're talking about the chatbot only, that will be Reina chatbot. So in here, we're asking the AI chatbot, generate a quiz on what topic, as a what grade level teacher, emphasizing how many questions of this topic do you want, and make sure that you aligned it to this Texas TEK or pre-K guideline. Next, we have level readers. So let's say that you're a 1st grade teacher and you want to make sure that you create level readers for your students. Some of them might be at level, some might be below level, some of them are going to be above level. So I require a level reader for the butterfly life cycle and make sure that is appropriate for 1st grade level, and we need it for below level, at level, and above level. You can also specify the length. So let's say that for at level you want it less than 100 words. You can specify that as well. And that will go with a 3-tier level reader as well. So can you supply a 3-tier level reader for this title? Now, going for the level reader, let's say that you grab a passage from New CLA that is only available for 5th grade, but you want to bring it down to 1st grade, appropriate words and appropriate everything for your students. You can copy and paste that document and then tell the AI, I want you to level this reader for this grade. And if you're using something, a specific TEK, don't forget to add it. That last part of the AI PSJA TEK is to align it to that specific TEK. Now we have 3 other samples of prompting that we created. A rubric. So let's say that you're doing a PBL and you want to make sure that your students know what is the qualifications for the rubric. So create a rubric for this project. You are this level teacher and how many tiers of the rubric that you want, and put the criteria, align it to a TEK. Let's say that is a rubric about a project on the butterfly life cycle, or let's say that you're talking about erosion. All as specific as you can, like Debbie was saying, will provide you the best response. The next, so one of the things that I've been playing around with some of the teachers is right now in science that we're doing life cycles. So we created tier level readers. And then after that, this is something fun also for our pre-K students so they can learn a way to sing around. So you can say, I need a theme song about, let's say, the life cycle of a frog in the tune on Taylor Swift Love Story or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. You can specify the length. You'll make sure that you are capturing key concepts for this TEK as well. Now, I will create that song with key concepts and vocabulary on that subject on the tune for what I said, either Taylor Swift's Love Story or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, whatever is better for your students. This is really cool to engage your students. If you know that they have their favorite, you have their favorite artists, they will know the tune and then they are able to sing it and learn all this a lot easier. Lastly, you can create a choice board prompting. Just develop a choice board featuring this purpose, who you are as a speaker. So you're telling the AI who they are. Design a board, the number of tasks, who are the students, which is your audience. Remember, always using that AI PSJA TEK. AI can be used for a lot of stuff. You can also build up your chatbot to become a person in history. So that can be another prompt. You can tell them that you're Albert Einstein. You're going to be talking with second grade students. So now the students have learned about you, and we're going to be asking you follow-up questions. Then the AI, as a teacher, you can ask the questions that the students are doing. I see that one of my principals that are for my pre-K campus is here. So think about your students in pre-K, where you have your teachers asking your students, okay, let's create a story and just give me your character that's going to be the main character, your setting, what's happening. So you give all the key concepts of building a story, and the AI will create it for you. Tell them that you just want it in the paragraphs. Now you can read it to the students, and then they can recreate it or even act it out. Now, what I want to do now is I'm going to bring you to Copilot. As you said, Debbie told you that you can go either to copilot.microsoft.com that I have you right here, or you can go to the Edge browser, which is where I am, and it will see it right here. So you will go in here, and then it will ask you to sign in. Once you sign in, you will use, I am not going to use this one. I'm going to use my PSJA email. Da-da-da-da. I haven't logged in, but I was like, let me log out and show them how it looks. So it's here, it shows you that you're logged in with your PSJA. It gives you some of the ideas that you can use. But I want to ask my audience right now, any of the people that are here, can you give me some feedback? I want to give me some information. Let's create a story. And I want you to give me a main character. And I'm going to say, hey, can you help me? Can you create a story about who is the main character? Let's see. Can somebody type it on the chat or unmute themselves and tell me who will be the main story? Bob the Builder. Okay. So let me just not use Bob the Builder, but I will do a cartoon character that is a builder, similar to Bob the Builder. I don't know if by copyright, he might not be able to use it. Now, what is the story about? What could be like either the climax or what's happening? Can somebody else, or you also, Mariela, can tell me what is happening in the story? What is he building or what is he fixing? Or he could be explaining also about the life cycle of the butterfly or plants or something. Actually, I like that idea. While he is building, while he is building the new Building Blocks Academy for PSJA students, he discovers new eggs from a butterfly that is in extinction. Please make sure that you make this story engaging for students in pre-K through kinder, and up here, include the stages of the life cycle of the butterfly and ways that the builder aligns to the UN's, what are those called, everyone? Come on. What kind of goals? Nobody?
What kind of what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Okay. Sustainability goals. Very good. Thank you. So let's see what they do. Like, I didn't put length, but you can edit it and ask them to put length. Then we can also add the teak for the butterfly life cycle. So once upon a time, in the bustling town of Constructiville, there lived a cheerful and hard worker building named Roberto. Oh, even Roberto is there. Now, I can ask them, can you please reduce the story Oh, story. I misspelled story, but they automatically corrected. In the lively town of Constructorville, there lived a cheerful builder named Roberto. His mission was to create the Building Blocks Academy for the little students of PSJA. He dug the foundation and discovered shimmering eggs belonging to the elusive azure butterfly, a rare species. Roberto protected the eggs that involved the children in their magical journey. So this is pretty engaging. But then you can also say, I'm like, tell me more about Roberto's stories. What other magical creatures live in Constructorville? How can I help protect the endangered species? You can go up and on, but just by that, you can say also, can you create an image for this story? So there's little Roberto. Now, can you translate the story to Spanish to read it to our Spanish community? And you write us a song for this story, including the stages of the butterfly life cycle in the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And with that engaged, I'm going to stop my part because I want to make sure that Marco shows us the area where you were building images. So all this information, like in here, it'll give it in Spanish, but it can also, we can re-ask him to do the song in English. Marco, take it away.
Hey, Valentine, thank you very much. That was a really good presentation there. I did not know that it could not only create the story, but then create the character as well. So that was really awesome. Mine is going to be a pretty short little presentation here. I'm just showing a few ways that that Copilot could look when you try to build images here. So one of the things I'm trying to move things along here. So sometimes when you are going to ask Copilot for images, it'll show it a couple of different ways. So right here, I just did things like show me a picture of the Washington Monument, and I just wanted to show it because sometimes the look of the search might come out a little bit differently, but at the end, the photos always come out. So I'm showing you what a photo would look like if you wanted to show a photo of like a setting for the students. I know this is a little bit different of a setting, but if you wanted to show a photo of a student who's learning history or social studies, it'll still show, in this example, show photos of a Washington Monument, and it'll show some detail of what you're about to see, and it'll come up with links. So just letting you know, it might look a little different if you're looking for stock images. So like in this case, it doesn't show the image here. And I noticed that sometimes the image will show up and sometimes not. But if you click on the link, I assure you that at least some images will show up. And I'm just kind of letting you all know this in case you all want to show photos of maybe a setting of a story of what you are about to read to the students, just so they get an idea of where or what the setting looks like, or to kind of have that idea in their head what it looks like. And kind of going on to what Valentine was talking about, how you got to see kind of that builder be created. There is a really cool little site that's connected with Copilot. It's called Copilot Designer. It's just it's copilot.microsoft.com, and you can just look up designer. It'll be the first search on there. So if you wanted to, you could kind of give yourself a little bit of a description of, ask the kiddos, put this up on your new line board and ask the kiddos of whatever story that you're reading, hey, what do you think the setting looks like? And so if the students are reading, for example, the book Where the Red Fern Grows, you could say, hey, so where's the setting for where the red fern grows? And the students will say, oh, I think it said something about the Ozarks or the Ozarks and the Ozark Mountains. So you could say, let's put on here, generate an image. We could put generate an image of the Ozark Mountains. And I think I misspelled something, but it's okay because it'll kind of get what you're trying to say. And you don't have to be as specific. You can, start off with something very vague and then kind of build upon it until it becomes more specific, and then it'll give you a few images here. So this could be a really good starting point. And then if the students want to get more specific on what color the sky is or anything like that, you could go on and do that. And so if I just put Ozark but not the mountains, it'll actually generate something else too. I believe this one will show a little bit closer to sea level. And so you can see this is more like of what the story would look like. And so check it out. So this is something that I think is a really cool tool, just like how Valentine had created that character. I also think this is a really good tool. I think the designer site is a little bit cleaner if you ever want to check it out. And just so you know, we do at this moment, we have these little tokens here that every time you generate an image, you use up one of these little tokens. So you get 15 a day, but every 24 hours they reset. So you should be pretty good. Just letting y'all, giving y'all a heads up in case y'all start going image crazy here. You get about 15 a day and they do reset every 24 hours. But that was basically it, just using AI images as something you can show the students for teaching them maybe setting of a story. So that's what I got, guys.